Hey, welcome to another episode of Farmer James Mountainside Beekeeping. Today, folks, let me put this veil down a little bit. So today, we're going to have some hive inspections, and hopefully it'll go pretty well. I haven't done this in a little while where I'm videotaping and inspecting my colonies at the same time. The only reason is because I have, as you see, a variety pack of colonies. So what I'm trying to do today is two things: protect my face, as well as show you folks how I go through a hive inspection, what I'm looking for. And this time of year, I'm looking to see how the brood production is in these colonies. There are various colonies you probably see in my yard, whether they're the nukes that you see up there or the larger colonies. So, yeah, bear with me today, or hey, be with me today, Farmer James Mountainside Beekeeping, as I go through my hive inspection. So I'll try to do my best I can to just show you what to look for. I'm looking for brood, larvae in all stages, and I might even find a queen. All right, and these are overwintered nukes that I got from over on the other side of the mountain. They're starting to grow exponentially, and I'm going to be checking the boxes because the flow is a go. All right, so let's go to it. Farmer James. All right, so let me just try to position the camera so that you all could see what I'm seeing and see what I'm doing as I go in the hive. All right, so I don't have the smoker going, so I'm going to get the smoker going as soon as I can. And what I like to do with my smoker is basically I use pine needles, I use pine debris, and any of the ashes and stuff like that I throw on the ground around the beehives because the ants don't like ashes. Yeah, so you folks pretty much know how to do a smoker. And there's no need for me to really go over that. I just use a little bit of debris. And this is my blend I use for my smoker, which is what I gathered from around the area. So just a bunch of pine needles and stuff like that, more sticks, some leaves. And that's what I like. That's what I like to use for my smoker up here. Yeah, I'll be using my gloves today just because I'm going to be going through the hives pretty in depth, just trying to see what's going on. Again, folks, looking for brood, those kind of things to see how my queens are laying in these hives and how things are going. So I'll try to probably start with this hive right here. This hive is growing pretty good, it's 3 deeps. And what I did notice, folks, is that in that bottom deep, sometimes the bees really don't like going down there. And that's what I've been seeing in a few of these hives. And I'm not sure if it's because of the flow or what. So I'm going to go in here and make sure these boxes are tidied up and I can see what's going on. So after I go in these hives, I'll also show you how I do my marking on top of the hives, just to give me the basic information on each of the inspections. All right, folks, this is my first time doing it by myself with videotaping, so I'm hoping to get things going right so you can see what's happening and not just watching me do nothing. So again, just using the sticks and those kind of debris items for my smoker. Want to get that smoker nice and going. Yeah, let the smoke hit your body a little bit, your legs. And what I like to do is just smoking in the air while I'm getting it going. The reason I do that is all those foragers that are returning, they get to know what's going on before they enter the hive, and maybe they'll send that signal. So I'll get the smoke going pretty good. Then I'll go in front of the hive as well. Also, I'll put my hive tools in there, and that'll help sterilize things. So a little bit of smoke in front of the hives. Bees that are coming in. As I get ready, I'll start smoking right off into that hole. And just to get things so the bees know right away I'm coming inside. And I'll just smoke also the next hive right in there. Some people smoke right down the hole. When I first go in there, I'll do this smoke just in case there is a queen running around the lid. She's not in the way. So my leg looks pretty good. Just going to set it down here to my left. All right, and I'm trying not to get in front of you folks while I look in here. So the first thing I'll probably do is just take off this top deep. I'm not going to really look inside. I'll do a quick scan on the bottom just to see if there are any queen cells building up. So what I'll do is look right on the bottom of the hive, and hopefully you could get a clear view about see what I'll see. So I'll give another puff of smoke down that center hole of the inner cover. Get these other bees out of the way. And, just give a few puffs, keep my smoker going while I take this deep off. So I did sterilize my tools in the fire when I got it going. I'm also going to smoke again. I want to feel how hot that fire is. And it's getting pretty hot. So what I'll probably do is grab some of this green grass and place that inside. So you want to wait like a couple minutes before you go right into the hive. That way you can see the bees have kind of moved out of the way as I begin to go work on that deep. So I'll move this first body and I'll just set it up right, folks, so that I can see if they're building queen cells, swarm cells, or what, because we're in swarming season in Vermont, so I want to be on top. Ooh, that's hot. Yeah. I like to pry upward like that. I'll give a little smoke going on the corner of the box. Oh, it's building pretty heavy. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, a lot of bees. So what I'll do is give a little smoke to see if I see any swarm cells, if I see any cups. I see a lot of cups. I see a cell right there. So what is this telling me? It's telling me a few things. Maybe they're ready to swarm. There's another cell. Looks like a cell came out, or maybe I broke it. I'll have to check that. Hopefully I broke it and they didn't come out. I checked this hive. The date says I checked it 2 weeks ago. So what I did discover is that these bees aren't working down in the other deeks. They're pretty much staying up here. So this could be the issue why they're making queen cells from these cups, and they're just going all about it, folks, because they just send a signal that there's no more space. Queen may be laying down here. I'm not sure. But either way, this is a sure sign that they want to swarm. So I'm hoping I rip this. If this is torn, then we have a virgin queen running around somewhere. So yeah, so what I'm going to do right now is set this aside, and I'm going to look around to see what's going on. So I already know what's going to happen. So I'm just going to set that aside. I'm going to continue working. And hopefully what I see is what I'm thinking. And that is they've got something going on here. There's nothing here. So if that's the case, I'm going to try to get some brood down below here and then some in here and draw them down, okay? And do, a checkerboarding kind of thing. Because the flow is on, but the bees seem to want to be building in that very top deep. And I'm not sure why. I under-supered, and they don't really want to touch that comb, which is another indication that the flow has been upside down. All right, so yes. Right away, I'm just going to take this off and set it aside. See what's going on. And as you can see, 1 or 2 frames they're touching, but not any of the rest. And that's really pretty much a lot about the nectar flow. And this is an old frame, and I was trying to get them to draw out the new frames, but they really haven't drawn out the new frames because the nectar flow's been up and down because of the weather. Today's not, it's just humid, 80 degrees, so I'm just going to pop this box and see what's happening down in that lower brood. And as suspected, there's nothing. Also, I see the same thing going on down below. Not a lot of activity. Okay, so you see down below, I don't see a lot of activity except on a few frames. And those frames, again, were frames of comb. And I tried to get the bees to go down from this top deep, but apparently because of the old comb, they didn't want to go on a new comb. And again, I think that's indicative of the nectar flow. So let's see what we got going on here. I'm going to move these outer frames out of the way. And as you can see, they really aren't drawing them out, folks. Flow is not great. And that's what I'm seeing all the way down. Yep, look at that. Not seeing anything of any resources coming in. No nectar. Seems like they're just going all the way top. So I'm going to do is start pulling frames out of this deep and putting them down below. So move this to the side. I'm going to leave these frames here while I get into this larger cavity. So based on what I see, folks, I think the queen's going to be in that very top box. And hopefully we'll find her. Hopefully they didn't swarm already. So let's just make some space so that we could center. These are nice, folks. I'm just basically moving them so I'm not squishing any bees. So that's why I'm smoking. I'm not really smoking on any other benefit other than what I just said. That is just to get them out of the way. So let's try to set this so that I'm not damaging those cells. Because those queen cells I want to use for another project. Oh. So this box down below is full of bees, and I'm gonna see, yep, look at that. Just as I suspected. They decided to build up here and leave that bottom empty. So we have a lot of issues, and I'm gonna try to fix these issues today, because this is not what you want to see, but this is what my opinion is. Because of the flow, this is what the bees wanted to do. They wanted to stay up top. They didn't want to bring any of that resources down. So they built in one box. And that can happen. And even though I'm checking these bees every 78 days, 7 to 8 days, so a week to a little bit over a week, this is what could happen when a flow builds up in a few days. So I'm going to go through this box down below. I'm going to also then try to recover and see if the queen is around. If she's not around, then I'm going to leave those cells in there. Try to leave it to 2 deeps. And try to place some bees in a nuke that I have set up in the yard, in the JZBZs. And also try to leave some bees to see what's happening. All right, folks, so yeah, you see my mess. So here I go, Farmer James, Mountainside Beekeeping. Bees are calm. They're not too fussy, as you can see. So that's a good sign that there's a queen. So I'm going to go in here and see what we can do. I'm going to clean off this debris. And also I'm going to see what kind of frames we got going on, because I might just keep them in 2 deeps now that I see this issue. Okay, so the issue is bees wanted to stay in the top box. They didn't want to go below. Now I got a mess because of the crazy weather and the flow. All right. So you saw earlier I showed you I had some queen cups. I had that. And now I'm going to see what else I see on the sides. They just build up along there too. Man. I'm going to try to carefully get these frames out. Let's see what we have here. Ooh, look at that. Resources, mostly. Oh, fresh eggs, larva. So she's laying very well. Okay, fresh eggs. Larva with the bees, very calm. And look at that queen cup on the bottom. I'll take care of that right away. Actually, it's a drone, so that's empty, nothing major. But I did see some cells right next to that. Okay, look at that. That's a really nice frame. Eggs larva also on this side. Very good frame as well of eggs larva. So we're going to place that in the center, in the bottom. And I'm going to move over a frame of comb right next to that frame so that they can start working on it. Put a frame of foundation. Yeah, fun times. Okay, again, just smoking to clear the bees. They're nice and calm. So that's the thing about Carniolas. They really are nice, calm bees. I must say. I shared them with just one or two people, and they also like them. Mother of pearl. Look at that. Look at that queen cell that I think I mashed. But yeah, a lot of bees. Heavy duty queen that laid. Let's try to find her. But yeah, folks, that's what happened. That queen cell. Is it charged? Oh, man. I think we got a virgin. I think we have a virgin running around somewhere. So we need some comb down below. Let me go through again and see if I can get something else. Let's try to find that queen. The virgin's is loose. She's on the prowl. And yep, like I suspected, folks, they just stayed up there in the top. Just look at this fresh frame they're working on. And they've drawn out. We'll put that down below. Give them something to do. So we'll grab another one. Try to guess what's happening. This is a frame of brood I know already, so I'm not going to bother that one. I might take this outer one because I'm suspicious. These bees are nice. As you can see, I'm not smoking them. Woohoo! Wow, look at that. Bees have come out. Look at that cell right there. Do I keep it? I think I will. I will transfer it to a hive. That's a super seeder cell. So, what should I do? I should cut it out. Probably will do that. So that's what I just did. Took away that supersedure cell. Put this hive back in order. Grab a big resource frame. Nope, no resource frame. Just bees. Look at the brood. Crazy amount of bees. Whatever that queen is doing, she's laying like you would not believe. So a lot of bees, folks. So I got to move and shuck and jive bee boxes around. So I needed these bees to really start to work a lot better. So yes, I'm gonna place this comb down below. We start working it. And the queen starting to lay. Hopefully the queen that's gonna lay will be the main queen. I've yet to see her. I will look for that as well. Let's put this bottom beat together. Put some brood down there. What I'm gonna do now is place a deep with nothing and work through that deep. Okay, I'll leave that center deep. Immediately, I'm going to take out 3 frames. immediately. Not concerned, the queen is up there. Not really worried about her. So I just placed those frames you see on that high right there. All right, not worried about her. I'm sure she's down in here. So I'm still configuring. So I got an empty deep with foundation, and I'm gonna check aboard this second deep, bring in some bees out of this deep. I'm just gonna smoke them. As you can see, they're really calm. Just doing it to clear the frame so I don't squish them. So let's do this real quick. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, just checking that real quick. I didn't think there was going to be anything on it. That was correct. There's nothing on that frame. I'm going to put it just above, put a resource frame right next to it. That resource frame I placed next to it will hopefully dry out some of the bees onto that empty comb and kind of pull them down. So that's what I'm trying to do, folks. Trying to get these bees, which were just staying uptight, down below. So I placed some brood down there. That should draw a lot of bees. Place some brood up here in the middle box. So I'm going to basically take all the resources out here and place in a second box. And then the third box is going to be empty. That way, hopefully, they'll draw all the resources up and start working on that foundation instead of leaving it like I had it before. And that could have been because of the flow. They didn't want to build up and below. They wanted to just stay up top. And as you can see, wasted a lot of wax plus resources on that outer cover. So let's get going real quick. I don't want to take up your time. I'm just going to show you real quick how I always go through the colonies if I see this kind of thing happen on the flow. So yeah, let's go back and let's do it right. Again, just smoking, trying to clear them out. There's so many bees, folks. I'm trying not to squish any. Also, I'm trying to, any guck on top of the frames I want to take out, get that out of the way. All right, let me just try to get this one up. And this is heavy as I suspected, full of resources. Yeah, ooh, pollen. Wow, that is packed with pollen. And it could be that pollen substitute I put in there. Who knows? Whoa, this is a very heavy resource frame, folks. Heavy, heavy, heavy with resources. So we're going to do something like that. Yeah. Then, because that was a heavy dose of resource frame, I'm going to give it foundation right next to that resource frame. So I put a foundation that they're working on right next to that huge resource frame I got out. This box, and man, it was full of just pollen, bridged with nectar. And look at that, mother of pearl. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Heavy frame of brood. And look at below. Queen cells. They're capped. So, am I going to save them? No, not this time of the year. But I want to look in and see how far along they came. I'm going to then find some cups. So I found cups. Oh, there's another one. And I'm saving them because I want to look inside just to see how far they were close to swarming. Because if I could hopefully change the signal, which is very challenging sometimes. And you can see the bees are calm. They are really good bees. Oh yeah, good bees, good bees. Queens are crazy. Swarm cells, and look at that, another solid frame, which I should use in a split, but I think I will let them do that and maybe take bees later. Yeah, I think I will do. Nope, let's leave that one here, folks. Yeah, let's leave that one there. And they are bridging because the nectar flow is strong. Yeah, take care of that cup. And it's on this side. Bees just piling up. See anything? Cup. Put this here. Yep, I'm gonna leave these up in that deep and finish the rest of foundation. Get them to work the foundation. So yeah, let me know anything in the comments on about what I'm doing. If you like what I'm doing, don't like what I'm doing, any suggestions to my bee psychology. All right, so that box is together. Now let's put this one on top of this box, and we're gonna shut it down. After we do that, I'm gonna checkerboard foundation in this box, scrape that outer cover, and I might call it done on this box, but I'm gonna check it in the next 7 days to see if I didn't do anything wrong. Maybe lost the queen. They stopped laying or whatever. And if the queen did do whatever, then I got to do whatever is necessary, and that may mean requeening, making a split, and probably 2 or 3 nukes based on the brood population. So yes, let's finish this up. I'm gonna put that third deep you see on the ground here. I'm gonna place this box up here on this second deep, and then do a checkerboarding. So yeah, let's check it out. Let's see what's going on. And the bees are very calm, folks, which is a very good thing you can always have. And I'm going to go through these last frames and make sure I don't have any issues going on I'm not aware of. The issues that mean I'm making sure I don't have any queen cells left.